Have you noticed how almost everyone talks about becoming a millionaire, but nobody tells you how to survive the most agonizing part of the journey? We are going to look at a fascinating mathematical reality that completely changed how I view money. A few years ago, the legendary investor Charlie Munger famously said that accumulating your first $100,000 is the hardest thing you will ever do. Most people hear that and assume it just means saving money is tough. But recent data shows there is a deeply counterintuitive mathematical trap hidden inside that first 100,000. It is a psychological grinder that causes over 90% of people to abandon their financial goals entirely. Today, we are going to explore the brutal truth about this specific financial milestone. We will look at exactly why your brain wants you to fail during this phase, why your return on investment does not matter yet, and the exact moment the math permanently flips in your favor. Let us dive into the strange phenomenon known as the 70-30 trap. When you start building wealth from scratch, you naturally expect your money to start working for you immediately. But if we run the actual numbers, a very different and slightly depressing picture emerges. Let us say you manage to save $10,000 a year and invest it at a solid 7% return. You might expect the magic of compound interest to sweep you off your feet. Instead, it takes nearly 8 long years to reach that first $100,000. Here's the most brutal truth of that entire 8-year stretch. Out of that $100,000, you personally contributed roughly $70,000 from your own blood, sweat, and paycheck. The market only gave you $30,000. You're doing 70% of the heavy lifting. Your money is essentially sitting around watching you do all the hard work. This creates a massive mismatch between your effort and your visible results. Understanding this dynamic is exactly what prepares you for the psychological hurdle we'll face in the next phase. Chapter 2: The Illusion of Stagnation. Human beings are wired to expect linear and immediate rewards. When you study hard for a test, you expect a good grade the next day. When you put in extra hours at work, you expect a bonus or a promotion shortly after. But the early years of investing completely violate this biological expectation. Because you're doing 70% of the work, the daily fluctuations of the stock market can make it feel like you're actually walking backward. You might save diligently for a whole year, only to see a market dip wipe out all your visible progress. This creates a powerful illusion of stagnation. Your brain starts whispering that the system is broken, that investing is a scam, or that you should just spend the money on something you can enjoy right now. People look at their accounts after 3 years of sacrifice, see very little passive growth, and they quit. They change their strategy out of pure boredom. But this stagnation is just a mirage, hiding what's actually about to happen next. Chapter 3: The Velocity Flip. If you can just survive that illusion of stagnation, something truly magical happens once you cross the 6-figure mark. The mathematical equation of your wealth undergoes a permanent velocity flip. Let us go back to our example, where you're saving $10,000 a year. That first $100,000 took almost 8 years, but if you change absolutely nothing, the second $100,000 takes only 5 years. The third takes just under 4 years. By the time you're working toward your fifth $100,000, it takes only 2.5 years. The brutal slog is over. The stock market is now doing the majority of the heavy lifting. You have officially transitioned from relying on human capital to relying on financial capital. Your money has finally woken up and started carrying its own weight. This is the exact moment compound interest stops being a theoretical concept in a textbook and becomes a tangible force in your daily life. But to reach this velocity flip, you have to avoid a very specific mistake. Chapter 4: The Savings Rate Fallacy. During the slow years before hitting the 6-figure mark, people get incredibly impatient. They want to speed up the process, so they obsess over their investment returns. They spend hours reading about exotic stocks, trying to time the market, or looking for a secret investment that will give them a 20% return. But the math proves this is a complete waste of time in the beginning. When your portfolio is small, a massive investment return still results in a tiny amount of actual money. If you have $5,000 invested, doubling your return from 5% to 10% only gets you an extra $250 for the entire year. That's the savings rate fallacy. In the beginning, your savings rate matters 10 times more than your rate of return. Finding a way to save an extra $200 a month will accelerate your journey far more than picking the perfect stock. You have to focus entirely on shoveling dirt into the pile before you worry about fertilizing it. Chapter 5: The Danger of Lifestyle Creep. One of the most common reasons people never reach the velocity flip is that they get derailed halfway there. When you hit $50,000 in savings, you experience a strange psychological shift. For the first time in your life, you feel a genuine sense of financial security. The panic of living paycheck to paycheck fades away, and this is exactly when the traps snap shut. Because you feel secure, you start rationalizing upgrades to your life. You buy a slightly nicer car, you move to a slightly more expensive apartment, or you start taking lavish holidays. This is classic lifestyle creep. But every time you increase your baseline expenses, you're essentially resetting the 8-year clock. The brutal truth is that you have to treat the journey to your first $100,000 as a sacred, untouchable mission. You have to maintain the discipline of a beginner, even when you start feeling successful. If you can protect your baseline, you unlock a completely different level of freedom. Chapter 6: The Historical Precedent. If you look back through history, this concept of a brutal effort concentrated at the very beginning applies to almost every massive human achievement. Think about the construction of the early transcontinental railroads. The most agonizing, dangerous, and expensive part of the entire project was blasting through the solid granite of the mountains. Workers spent years chipping away at rocks, making near inches of progress each day. It looked like a terrible return on investment. But once the tunnels were finally cleared, the trains could move smoothly and effortlessly across the entire country for decades to come. Building your first $100,000 is the exact same process. You are blasting through the granite of your own financial ignorance, your bad habits, and the natural friction of the economy. It's supposed to be hard, and it's supposed to feel incredibly slow. But you're not just accumulating money, you're building the smooth, frictionless infrastructure that will carry your wealth for the rest of your life. This brings us to the most important transformation of all. Chapter 7: The Identity Shift. Crossing this six-figure milestone is ultimately not about the money at all. The spreadsheet is just a reflection of a much deeper internal change. To successfully navigate the 70-30 trap, resist the illusion of stagnation, and avoid lifestyle creep, you have to fundamentally change who you are. You start the journey as a consumer, constantly tempted by immediate gratification and the desire to look wealthy. But by the time you cross the finish line, you have evolved into an owner. You have learned how to delay gratification, how to ignore the noise of the crowd, and how to think in terms of decades instead of days. The brutal truth about saving your first $100,000 is that it requires you to become a completely different person. But the beautiful part is that this new version of yourself is exactly the person who is equipped to handle the next million. So keep shoveling, trust the math, and let the quiet power of compounding do the rest.